Welcome to Event Radio, covering local drag racing, stock car racing, motorcycles, go-karts. If it's got wheels and you can race it, you'll hear about it here. Event Radio is motorsports radio on steroids. Now, let's join your hosts, Spivvy Williams and Terrible T-Guy.
All right, guys, welcome to the next edition of Event Radio. We are, my wife would be so proud of me to remember this anniversary. I seem to always forget anniversaries, but we are at the 20th anniversary celebration of the National Corvette Museum. Can you believe that thing's been here for 20 years?
It just seems like it was yesterday. It really
Boy,
does.
it does. Man, it was. I can remember when they first did it. It was in a little bitty shopping center, and it was one, not even a whole. I don't even know what you'd call it. It was just tiny.
It was
tiny. Yeah, it was real little, and it was the only thing in that deal that. That had anything to do with Corvettes, period. And they said,
They've come
we're
a
going
long
to.
way, hadn't they?
Yeah, they said, we're going to build this big museum and we're going to do all this cool stuff. And everybody said, yeah, sure you are. And they actually did. And now it's been 20 years. And, boy, what are they doing now? You're talking about the new motorsports park that they just built. They are actually trying to make their mind up on the hole. Anybody in this country that is into Corvettes at all knows about the hole, where all of a sudden the ground just sort of swallowed up a bunch of them, and it was on every TV station in the world, I guess. But
if it would hold the structure up, I think they ought to leave it.
Well, I think they should leave it too, and it's funny that they are taking our suggestion, T, and we were the ones that came up with they should take the dirt off the cars, put it in bottles or boxes, and sell it,
This off the cars that fell down in the hole.
Yeah, well, they're probably doing a whole landfill. I don't know. But they're actually taking the dirt, and they're putting it in a box, and I think it sells for $10 or $20 or something, as a commemorative to remember the day the floor fell in, if you will. A lot of people don't realize, but that actually put this museum on the map. They have increased the visitors by something like 60% on what it was initially, and it's just a wild deal. They're now running bus tours. We've got watching Gray Line bus come in and out of here, and it's full of Corvette people that they're taking over to see the motorsports park across the interstate. There is word, or I guess you would call it a nasty rumor. You want to call it that? What do you want to call it?
I don't know.
We'll call it a nasty rumor that they are actually going to build a tunnel system from the museum into the motorsports park, where it will be like Daytona. When you go into the facility, you'll go under the interstate, and you can actually go over there and get into the motorsports park that way. I sort of wondered how they were going to do that, because most road courses, in order for them to be successful, they have to have access to the infield for people to move around and watch. They can't just be there to watch all that's going on, from the outside. They have to be able to get in the infield, see the races, and in order to have a good time.
But,
and I think that's what they're going to do.
People park on the outside. They got to walk. They've got to get in. I mean, somehow.
Yeah.
That'd be the hot setup if they could do that.
Well, I think that would be really neat. We're going to have a lot of fun with this show, guys. We're going to introduce you to a lot of the Corvette Club members that have come from all over the country. There are somewhere in the neighborhood of 10,000 Corvettes that will be at the museum.
That many.
Yeah, that will be at the museum this weekend. And 10,000 Corvettes in one spot is a pretty good show in itself. If you ever thought you wanted to buy one, you should come to this deal, and because you can see every color, every option,
every color 4 or 5 times in configuration.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, you can see everything that's cool, and they will. You can sort of say, well, I like that one. No, I don't like this one. Yeah, I like this one, and it's a pretty neat deal. Pretty cool.
But if you don't see what you like here, you just don't want a Corvette.
No, I guess you just don't want a Corvette.
I know the ones you like, the older models.
Oh, I do.
I do. Looking.
I can't help it. I'm just an old guy at heart, and I guess, T, that's because we grew up in the era when they were really hot rods. You know what I mean?
The side pipes.
All of them nowadays that they advertise up to be the high horsepower cars. You get one of those hooked up next to about a 65 or 6 model big block car, and yeah, he's going to get spanked hard because those things were true hot rods. But we're going to take a few minutes. We're going to introduce you to a lot of the vendors. We're going to introduce you. We're going to try really hard to make you sick at your stomach that you are not here taking part in this event live, because it's going to be a fun thing. There are a ton of people. We're actually going to have to really be careful and snake our way through here in order to get a chance to talk to everybody, I
tell you, through the courtyard here, it's packed with people.
There's tons of people, guys, tons of people. They're having lots of fun. They're over here feeding their face, and they're going to have some music, some entertainment here later on. But this is a happening, and people come from all over the country to come to this event. And it's just a lot of fun. I mean, there's a lot of fun that goes on out here.
Corvette's like a family of people. They all stick together. They got their own little handshake kind of.
Yeah,
they're a group of good people.
They wave at each other. You'd think they knew each other, wouldn't you?
They've got a Corvette. That's
they've got a Corvette. They wave at each other. So you would think that they knew each other, but they don't really. They're just buddies and having fun. We're going to get out of here and take a little commercial break from our sponsors that we appreciate more than open heart surgery, I guess, is the way to put it. But we're going to take a quick break. We're going to go through here and we're going to introduce you to some of the people that are making this event what it is. You're on Event Radio. We appreciate you being with us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back from the 20th anniversary of the Corvette Museum, and we commandeer a gentleman over here that has the absolute coolest shirt on in the world, and it has just about every year's logo on it. What is your name, sir?
Lawrence McCready.
Lawrence, where are you from, sir?
Alberta, Canada.
Boy, you're up north, huh? Do they have sweet tea in Alberta? No.
Iced tea.
Iced tea. But you don't know what sweet tea is. We're going to indoctrinate you, on the southern stuff, And we might make you want to stay here for a while, do you think?
Perfect.
All right. Your shirt has every Corvette logo on it but 2. Tell us why.
No, it has every Corvette logo. I am just missing 2 cars.
Oh, in other words, you have had every one of them, but there's 2 logos on the shirt that you haven't gotten yet.
Correct.
See, I put the yet in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we know you Corvette guys. You're going to wind up with one sooner or later. You just probably haven't seen the one you really like yet.
Well, we haven't found it yet.
Well, this is a good venue to sort of get a good scope on it. There's going to be about 10,000 of them here. And if you can't, you should be able to see every option, every color, everything to pick out your next hot rod,
That is a fact.
All right, let me ask you, out of all of them that you've had, what's your favorite?
The favorite is my 64.
You like it?
I love it. It was a gift.
There you go. Hey, I get asked that a lot, and my favorite was a 1960 that I had. We actually made a hot rod, too, and I made enough money street drag racing that turkey to pay for the thing just about.
Right on.
But they're fun. They're fun. You like the older ones better than the new ones?
I do. I'm a bit of a nostalgic guy. We have the new ones, but I like to drive the old ones out on the cruises.
Well, it's just sort of Corvette's really popular in Canada?
Yes, they are. Well, in the Corvette group. There are a substantial number of them, yes.
So you have a club, I guess, that you're are you here just lone wolfing it, or do you got a club with you?
I decided to join the caravan the day before they left, so I'm just sort of tagging along with the Western Canada caravan.
Hey, that's cool. That's good. You got to come out and have a little fun, go cruising.
You bet.
You guys make a complete serious statement out of going for a little cruise.
That's only 2,450 miles.
Well, that's a little cruise.
That's
It's a lot of fun cruise.
it's a fun cruise. Yes.
Anything exciting happen along the way that you ought to tell the world about?
No speeding tickets. Yeah,
Well, that wasn't exciting.
Meeting lots and lots of different people.
Yeah, that's the beauty part. You know, really, that's probably one of the cool things about having a Corvette. You can pull in, and somebody will want to talk to you about the car, no matter where you stop or who you see or anything else. And it's a door opener, you know, for meeting a lot of nice people.
You betcha. And the what we've noticed is the people across the country are very friendly, inquisitive, and Corvette people are more than friendly all the way across.
Most all of them. Every once in a while you'll get ones a little different, but that's okay. No, we're just playing. Everybody's been pretty nice. Favorite thing in the museum? Is there a car in there that just really tripped your trigger?
Far too many. Nothing has absorbed in yet.
What about the hole?
Haven't made it to the hole.
You hadn't made it there yet, huh? We've got a buddy that's a professional magician, and we said, you know, they went to a lot of trouble with cranes and stuff to get those cars out. You could have just come over here and levitated those dudes right out.
Right on. That would be the best way.
He said, "Nah, I didn't want to look like I was, you know, too good at it." But he said, "I might have been able to do something." You know. Listen, my friend, thank you. We stopped you right in the middle of leaving the concession stand, and we couldn't help ourselves. We had to do that. But I thought your shirt was so cool. I mean, that's awesome. Yeah,
Well,
if they have a fashion show, you ought to enter it.
Well, I'll try it, yes.
You ought to try that. We appreciate you coming into Bowling Green and hanging out, and the little 2,400-mile cruise that you came on to get here, and the little one you got to do going home. And we wish you a very safe trip on the return. We hope you have a great time, and we hope you find at least one of those two you're missing.
Looking for a C1.
Looking for a C1.
C7's all over the place. I need a C1, though.
All right, guys, if you've got one out there and you're listening, we got a man here. It's a hot target. He's already got the shirt to go with the car, so you got to come up with one. Thank you, my friend, for being on Event Radio. We really appreciate it. We're going to get out of here and go see more of the fun stuff, guys, that's going on the 20th anniversary celebration of the National Corvette Museum. You're on Event Radio. We will be right back. All right, guys, we're cruising through all of the, we're going to call it Manufacturer's Row, because that's the only way we know how to call it, or Vendor Row, I guess you'd say. And we come up on a little place that I have always found very fascinating. I have never had the opportunity to go. And this little interview here is going to be not only for you, the public, but it's going to be for me, too, because I get to find out even more than I've been able to read. We have Darren here from French Lick Resort and Casino.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, buddy, it's nice to meet you. French Lick is not that far away.
No, it's not. French Lick is actually about 3.5 hours north of here. We're an hour north of Louisville and about 2 hours south of Indianapolis.
But it's such a cool place. You guys, I don't know who does your brochures, but, buddy, you need to give them a raise because they make you want to go there.
They do. The picture, and none of the pictures are photoshopped, so that's actually what it actually really looks like in French Lick. Yes.
Man, it is so cool. And all of the people that are here, guys, you get a chance to come by. That's a good little cruise in a Corvette from here.
Yes, it is.
You're going to be here for several days, and you can run right up the road, and I'm sure the casino is very friendly.
It is very, very friendly. And to make it even better, especially for the driving enthusiast, we're located right in the middle of the Hoosier National Forest. So there, you get the foliage, you get the greenery and everything, plus you get some of the winding roads. And from the owners that have been up there in the past while we've been here, they say that the drive is phenomenal because they love how the Corvettes just hug the road on the way up there.
And that's it. So you can have fun, go win a little money, and see all the pretty sights and everything. And, hey, that sounds like a great day to me.
Your last final stop in before you go home.
Well, it might be. It's not that far. It could be a stop every day.
There you go.
What are you talking about?
And we're open 24/7.
There you go. And that look, a little buddy of mine. He was a cool little guy. He said, "Yeah, they're open 24 hours a day and all night too."
That's correct.
There you go.
We never shut down.
Never shut down. My wife has wanted to go there, and unfortunately, this little radio show keeps us pretty busy because we cover motorsports events all over, and we're going. And I keep promising her, Susie, yeah, we're going to go. We're going to go. We're going to go. So now I have no excuse. You have been on our show. You have been on our show, and I have no excuse. Is there any one thing in particular they should look for that maybe makes you stand out a little different over something else?
Well, for us, we have our events. Plus, we also have. It's a historical resort. We were also named for 2013. We were the best historic hotel or best historic resort in America by Historic Hotels of America, by the HHA.
Nothing wrong with that, buddy.
So we have that under for us. We also do our concert season every fall and winter that we go through.
Uh-huh.
And we also, for our casino, we have to all on one level. We have the largest largest enclosed non-smoking area in the state of Indiana.
Okay.
And with everything being on one floor, it makes everything a lot more accessible. And with our events that we do every year, we have an event called Concours d'Elegance. It used to be at Churchill Downs.
Okay.
And we took it over, and it's hosted at our West Baden Springs hotel property.
My daughter, actually, I hate to break it, but my daughter works for Kentucky Downs. So she is their head money counter. So they put in all of the, you're not supposed to say slot machines, but they're actually a betting.
They're a betting device.
Yeah. Well, no, they're actually a horse race device that works just like a slot machine.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, now that we've got that out of there, she is like their head supervisor of the whole deal, and they transfer her around. These guys own 4 casinos that own that now, and they're getting ready to put those things in all the horse tracks in Kentucky.
Right.
And we're envious, buddy, because we think casinos are a good thing. A lot of people give you the impression that you're the world's worst if you go to a casino. That's not true.
That's not true.
It's not true.
We have some of the friendliest people that are at our casino, and the biggest thing is that all of for our table games that we actually have live dealers. So when you're going there, you get the experience and the friendliness from the dealers and all the
and
staff
it's fun.
on the
that makes it fun.
And it makes it fun.
You know, I mean, you got a chance of winning a little money, and you can have fun doing it. And
exactly.
I know the world has become electronics crazy, but I've been talking to my phone a lot, and it's never answered me. You know, playing a game on it or playing on Facebook on it or something, it has never answered me. And I like to talk to people.
Exactly.
You know. And I think that's so cool that you do that.
And with us being in southern Indiana, you get the southern hospitality while you're there.
You guys have sweet tea?
We do have sweet tea.
See, these guys are cool. See, most of the people north of the river don't know what sweet tea is. But the guys at French Lick know what sweet tea is, guys. So if you're an old southern guy like we are, you can go up there and have some fun and still feel at home.
You sure
know.
can.
Now I don't want to take it too far. We had the Moon Pie Man on here. We went to Jack Daniel's Distillery in Lynchburg, Tennessee, and that's where moon pies come from. I never knew that, but we had the Moon Pie Man that dresses up like moon pie and goes out and gives moon pies to the girls. Now, do you guys have moon pies?
We
do not.
We have our own personal bakery that does our desserts in
Okay.
house. So I'm sure that she could
whip out a moon pie.
She could whip.
Well,
up
I tell you what, we're going to come visit you when we take a break, and I'll get my child bride in our little hot rod, and we'll come up and spend a day or two with you, and we might bring you a moon pie. So we want you to have the real thing, buddy.
We'll be there.
All right.
If anybody who ever wants to check us out, or if you want to get some more information on us, we're online. It's real simple. Just go to FrenchLick.com. We have everything, all the way from promotions to events to concerts and any hotel package you could dream of.
And I bet, guys, once you go, you can probably get on their Players Club, and they'll send you all kinds of goodies in the mail on deals and where you can go back and have a lot more fun.
Yep, you can subscribe to our newsletter and everything right there online.
Okay, FrenchLick.com, guys, just right up the road. We appreciate you taking a couple of minutes to be on Event Radio and letting us expose French Lick to the world. This little show goes everywhere, so we got to talk to a lot of people.
Well, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And tell your buddy over there that our air conditioner works on this golf cart, will you?
I will.
Because
it's very shady.
We just had the people over at the motorsports park not too long ago tell us that from Mobile One they were going to change the oil in it, and it's electric. So we'll see what happens.
Well, you let them give them a good try.
There you go, guys. French Lick Casino at French Lick, Indiana, a fun place. Stop by in Vendors Row and pick you up a pamphlet and talk to these guys. And it'll give you a fun place to go.
And we're also giving away a chance for an overnight stay to our French Lick Springs Hotel. So when you come and sign up, that puts you in the drawing for the overnight stay. Plus, we're giving away some goodie items, but I'm not going to reveal unless you come here and get it.
There you go. Guys, this is Event Radio. We're having tons of fun at the 20th anniversary of the Corvette Museum. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back from the 20th anniversary celebration of the National Corvette Museum, and we get to talk to an old buddy here that wears a couple of hats. And the hat we're talking about today are Collier Technologies, which is they make replacement frames for Corvettes. That's about the only part of a Corvette I haven't torn up, Mike. Mr. Mike Wilson, and he is also Senator Mike Wilson. There,
Well,
see, I'm showing my respect, man.
That's my part-time job.
Yeah, right. Okay, okay, all right.
It's like I tell people, I say it's not really a part-time; it's a full-time job with part-time pay. Is what
Yeah. I tell you, we only let very few politicians on this show. We only have the ones that, when their lips are moving, they're not lying, and so that's the reason Mike's on the show. He is one of the good ones, you know.
Well, I try.
Some of the others, we don't even let them on here, buddy.
Well, I'm privileged,
And
I
they've slipped us
appreciate it.
money and asked us to be on it. How in the world did you get in the Corvette frame business, my friend?
Well, I'll tell you what. I ended up working for a guy that he is his hobby is rebuilding cars. And
Imagine that.
he owns a metal fabrication business, which is a tier 1 supplier to the automotive assembly plants
Okay.
for paint tools.
Okay.
And so in this hobby of rebuilding a Corvette, he couldn't find a frame that, for the frame that he was rebuilding was rusted out.
Uh-huh.
And so he decided as an engineer, he'd just re-engineer it, make his own. So he built it, and over here you see that Corvette, that yellow one.
Uh-huh.
That's a custom vet. It
Yeah, that's
has a
pretty cool.
Collier Technologies frame under it. It's a C3 frame with C4 suspension. And
That's
so
cool.
he did that, and of course taking it to car shows, and people are going to know, where did you get that
Yeah,
from?
what is that? Are you a mad scientist or what,
Yeah.
right?
So they wanted to say, hey, will you build one for me? He goes, no. So he had so many requests, and finally he started this as a hobby, building frames, and so now he has a second business called Collier Technologies, building Corvette frames for 1963 through 1982, C2, C3s, and we can do it with C4 suspension points.
Well, let me ask you something. If we get a bunch of body parts, can we start bootlegging an 83? Will an 82 frame work? And see, they say there's only one, which we know there are only two. See, we know a little inside information.
Right,
here.
right.
There are actually two of those cars.
Okay.
And they're both in the building in there, but you only get to see one of them.
Right.
But can we maybe take an 82 frame and get some fake body panels and start producing our own 83?
Well, our engineering technician is right here.
Yeah, he's looking.
Away.
He's looking and shaking his head. No,
what does
no.
a politician do?
Yeah. Say, you dummies, shut up. That's what,
I pass it off to somebody else.
yeah, pass it to somebody else. You're good at that, bud. No, we're just playing. We're just playing.
Yeah.
Corvette hobby is a real big deal nationwide. We sort of take it for granted here.
Yes, we do.
Being here
Yep.
and having, we've talked to some guys that said, oh, I saw one of these or I saw one of these. And I'm sitting there thinking, we see these things by the truckload
All
every
the time.
day of the world.
Yes.
But it is a big deal, and it's a big deal worldwide.
It's huge. I mean, it's huge here because we're looking at 8,000 Corvettes here. That's
Yeah.
the estimate.
Yeah.
We had 5 years ago, we had about 7,000, estimating with the track opening at least 8,000 here. And, it's for Bowling Green, this is really huge. We have the plant here, the Corvette Museum. Like you say, we see them all the time. And so we see them coming in, and they're coming in. I've talked to them from California, Arizona. Somebody drove from Nova Scotia all the way here.
We actually have a listener in Holland.
Really?
They actually shipped a Corvette from Holland
Wow.
to be able to come to the Corvette Museum.
Wow.
And really nice guys that they talk to us on the computer all the time, and we use Facebook just right now under my name because we blew up our site on Facebook. we were getting like 20,000 hits at a time, and we blew it up. So they're working on it. So we switched everything to be doing the introduction of our shows to my own personal one, and now we're wearing it out. And so
Wow.
we got to do another one, but we're working on it.
I see you at everything that has to do
Well,
with
we
wheels.
really do.
Everything.
We try to do every event that has wheels. We make it broad enough that our listeners, we want to make them know everything that's good that's going on,
Well, I think you guys do a great job. I follow you, of course, on your Facebook.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
And keep up to
That
speed
could
with
be
what you're
dangerous
doing.
with you and your with you and your other job. Boy, I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad
You
thing.
got to keep your finger on the pulse.
Yeah,
buddy.
there you go. Okay. Guys, I tell you what, one of the few politicians that we really like. I don't mind telling you. Let's get you to change hats just a minute, and put the serious hat on.
Okay.
How big an economic impact is the Corvette to the state of Kentucky?
Oh, it's absolutely huge. The state of Kentucky is actually number 3 in the United States as far as, when you're looking at the automotive industry. You're looking at maybe 600-700 jobs out here at the plant itself. But the economic impact of this right here with the Corvette Museum and the Motorsports Park is going to be absolutely incredibly large. It's totally amazing to me, and the money that's being spent over these few days by these good folks that have come here for this bash. I mean, I don't know the actual number. I just know that you can't get a hotel room, and you have to go to Nashville.
You ought to try to. Susie and I were going to go to dinner last night, and after about 30 minutes of traffic, we said, I think we'll eat at home, because we finally got to the restaurant, and there was a waiting line a half a mile long, which is good. We love that. We make a living here, and we appreciate the economic impact.
Absolutely.
So you'll never hear us say a negative word at all about that. We can always go out and eat.
Yeah.
But it's such a cool thing to have that going on. And I've argued a lot, and don't smack my hand here, but that in the Bowling Green area, I honestly believe the Tourist and Visitors Bureau is a little bit more important than the Chamber of Commerce.
Well, I'm a chamber ambassador.
I know you are, and I had to do that simply
I would say
because
they're equally important.
Well, maybe so, but the beauty part of what they do, their events are instant result.
Yes.
They don't have to give away the farm to get it.
Right.
And it's good, green American money that everybody gets a share of. And I realize the chamber wants to bring in industry to create payroll and payroll taxes and all that kind of stuff. But now you just can't get it all, buddy. You gotta share just a little.
And let me tell you something. That people don't really realize this, but the state of Kentucky, we have. If you just look at Lake Cumberland, for instance, they have 4 million visitors a year.
Yeah.
And that would, if it was a national park, it would be like number 3 or number 4 or something like that on the list in the United States.
Right.
So when you're looking at people that come to our state as visitors, and that kind of thing as tourists, it's huge. It's huge in our state, and that's one of the things I want to lobby for as a politician.
Yeah, as a senator,
myself.
okay. We got to give you your horsepower when it's due, okay.
Is try to get more money invested, that we can advertise more, because we only actually spend, I think, about $3 million on advertisement.
Something I think that and we went to the meeting with the chamber guy. I can't remember his name, but we went to the meeting on more car events in Bowling Green.
Right.
And I expressed my opinion. I don't think he liked it very well, but the problem right here, and you might be able to help this, the local media is not fair on covering these events. Right. They don't give it enough press. Mm-hmm. Not only the Corvette events, but Beach Bend draws a ton of people. And I realize that's a private entity, but they are bringing so much money into this economy. They deserve the press, and if there's enough press to tell enough people about what's going on, the industry will follow, because they're going to go where people are.
And I agree with you, and that's something that people out there in our community do not realize. The number one draw to the Bowling Green area is Beach Bend Park.
Of course it is.
It is. It's number one by far, as nothing compares to it.
Of course it is. And they do, for next year, they signed 17 multi-day events that are going to bring in mega people.
Right.
They all buy fuel. They all live in hotel rooms. They all eat in restaurants. They go to the mall. They buy tennis shoes. They buy, that's a big economic impact now. And it's good, clean money that they leave here.
Right.
And you don't have to give away the farm to get them here.
Right. Absolutely.
And all it takes to get more of them is to tell the world what's going on.
Yeah. And that's why I would like to see us invest more money in from the Visitors Bureau and tourism in advertising what we have to offer as a state.
Well, we're all for you.
Other states doing it, and we need to do more of it.
Well, we of course, we realize we're just a little bitty pimple on a great big person, but we do our best to actually expose our area, Bowling Green, and our surrounding area to all the cool things that are going on here, and a reason you need to come here. You mentioned Beach Bend, and I've got to give one industry a little bit of a free plug. Our buddy, Mr. Rick Ball. Rick owns a company called RC Components.
RC Components, that's correct.
They have been selected as the business person of the year before.
Yes.
But what brought Rick started his company in Southern California, and what brought him here was him drag racing his motorcycle at Beach Bend Park.
Bend, yes.
And everybody was so nice, so happy that he moved his whole operation here. Now he is one of your chamber goodies that pays the payroll taxes and stuff. But where I'm getting at, the events brought them here.
Right.
And that can happen again a lot.
Yeah, and RC Components, I remember when they started, and I had a buddy of mine, he did the graphic arts for their catalog. And, since I've been out there, and they've had an expansion, and they've just grown like crazy. And so they bring jobs here.
Sure.
The economic impact, just like you say, one thing affects another.
It
and
does.
Beach Bend has had a huge impact, and so I appreciate that. I appreciate Rick Ball. I appreciate RC Components and the impact they've had economically on our community.
We appreciate everybody that's stabbing and steering every one of these Corvettes coming into this city and coming to this 20th anniversary celebration and the opening of the Motorsports Park, of course. But we appreciate them leaving their homes, leaving their jobs, and coming here to have a little fun with us.
Absolutely.
And then we get to come here and have fun with you. How cool is that, right?
Hey, buddy.
I'm telling you. Well, listen, my friend, we feel honored to have these senators sitting with us.
Wow.
Now you can go back to old buddy Mike hawking the Corvette frames. But no, all kidding aside, we appreciate all you do in your public service office to make our state better and our city better. Yeah, it's cool, but you do it out of a labor of love too, and we appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, appreciate you, Spivey. Thanks so much. I
All
appreciate
right.
you having me.
The one and only guy is Senator Mike Wilson, and you can come here and you can buy a frame from him for your Corvette. The only part of a Corvette that I hadn't been able to tear up, and he has a fix for that. You're on Event Radio, guys. We're going to stab and steer, go through here, and meet some more exciting, fun people. We will be right back. All right, guys, leave it to T and I to kick the senator out and find a really, really nice lady to take his place. What is your name, ma'am?
My name is Joan Hughes.
Joan, where are you from, lady?
Well, we now live in Glenmore, Pennsylvania.
Well, that's way on up there. Do y'all have sweet tea in Pennsylvania?
I know all about sweet tea. Because
Y'all don't have it?
Well, we don't, but
Well,
I know
we're gonna have
about
to fix
it.
you. We're going to have to straighten you
She's
right
from
out.
Atlanta, baby.
She's from Atlanta. Well, now that we'll settle for being from Atlanta and knowing what sweet tea is. What about country ham? I know you don't have country ham.
I know about country ham, though.
Yeah, but see, knowing about it and doing it's different.
Well, we were in Atlanta for 10 years, so I ate a lot of country ham.
Okay, well,
drank a lot of sweet tea and barbecue.
Yeah, your veins are probably stopped up, right, for all the ham? Is that it? Or
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, that's all right. You having fun at the Corvette deal at the 20th anniversary?
We are having a blast here.
The fun police may be close to you. You got to watch for them. You weren't ready for us to have fun, were you? We just do that. We can't help it. We do it, but we do it. We're an equal, fun-poking employer. We do it to everybody.
Okay.
All right.
How many come down in your crew?
We have several hundred. We're actually traveling with a New Jersey caravan, but our little group is from Pennsylvania, and we are the Chester County Corvette Club from Lionville, Pennsylvania.
How many was in it?
How many? In our group was
Yeah.
about 20 of us from just our little area in
You didn't
Pennsylvania.
get no speeding tickets or nothing on the way, did you?
Not yet. But
Boy, we've talked to a lot of clubs that came in here, and we ain't found one that would admit to getting a speeding ticket. And y'all drive Corvettes. These are not purists, okay? Yeah, there goes a purist. These are not pure. These are the fastest production cars on the planet, and y'all are driving them like a bunch of old maids. What's the problem here?
Well, I can tell you personally, I have been nagging my husband. He's right over there.
Okay, he's over grinning. He's not going to take part in this. Been on him about spinning a tire every now and then?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we understand. That's okay. Now, you have officially named this event.
I have.
All right. Let's hear it.
Okay. Again, because of my age and all the Corvettes and all the people here, I have officially coined this the vet stock, kind of like Woodstock, but I've coined this vet stock.
Well,
Vet
there's
stock
not.
with clothes on.
Yeah, there's not. You don't run around naked anywhere, do you?
I don't think people would
Okay,
want to
you
see
don't
us.
want to do that. You don't want to do that, even though it is vet stock. You don't want to run around nude and all the old. Is your Corvette painted up like a hippie wagon with all the different colors, or what color is it?
Gee, we should have thought of that. No.
No. Now you realize they've made marijuana legal in a couple of states. Now you're not trying to get into that here, are you?
No.
Okay, all right. We just had to clear that up because now on Woodstock, see, I went to school in New York, so I was there when all of that was happening, and they had a little bit of fun there, you know.
That they did.
That they did. I tell you what, have you been in the museum and gone through it and everything?
We have.
What about the hole?
We've seen the hole, got plenty of pictures.
Did you buy any of the dirt?
I did not buy any of the dirt.
You know whose idea that was to sell the dirt?
GM.
Ours.
Oh.
We actually gave them the idea for that, to do that. And we actually have another honor that you don't know, but we are actually the people that named Bowling Green Corvette City, USA.
Cool.
So we've been around a while, huh?
You sure have.
Hey, not bad for an old, fat, ugly guy, right? Listen, lady, thank you so much for being on Event Radio. We have a tremendous amount of fun covering these events. We do everything with wheels, and we especially like the Corvettes because the people are so nice to us, and we get to meet nice people like you and have some fun with you. And I don't know that you know the fellow that was on here before, but you ought to go over and say hi to him. He is a Kentucky State Senator.
Oh, I will.
Mr. Mike Wilson. Nice guy. Nice guy. He also part-time selling some Corvette replacement frames. But the beauty part about the Corvette deal is everybody's a car person. Even though they have really, really, a lot of them have very, very important positions in society, when it gets down to the weekend and the Plastic Fantastics, they are Corvette people just having fun. And you're now one of them. Now, look, no naked skateboarding in the parking lot.
I promise.
You can't do that. Even though it's vet stock, you cannot do any naked skateboarding.
I won't.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being on Event Radio. It is our pleasure, really, and letting us poke a little fun with you.
No, it has been my pleasure. Thank you for having me on the show.
Well, I tell you what, if you've had fun, please tell your friends about us, and if you didn't, forget you ever met us, all right?
Okay.
Okay.
It's a deal.
All righty. Guys, we're having a blast at the National Corvette Museum 20th anniversary vet stock now. Considering our latest buddy. That's what we're going to call it, is vet stock. You're on Event Radio. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back. All right, guys, we are back, and we have found the best bathroom material in the place. That's where everybody seems to read magazines for some deal, or that's where we do, you know, and we're honest about it. Vet Magazine. Haven't had that one. Tell me about it.
Vet Magazine's been around for years. It used to be Corvette Fever.
I had that. There you go. See, I knew.
That combined with this magazine to make Vet Magazine.
Okay.
It's published by the Enthusiast Network, and if you come over, it's 12 issues for $30, and you get a free T-shirt.
Hey, that's cool. We didn't tell everybody who we were talking to, though. What's your name, sir?
My name's Alan.
Alan, you can come and sweet talk Alan. See, what you do is you sign up for a subscription to the magazine, see, and you not only get the value of saving the money on the magazine here at the show, but he's going to make you look good, too. Boy, you can't beat that.
That's right.
Hey, what does the subscription cost, sir?
The subscription rate is $30 a year. That's 12
cheap.
issues, and I'll give you a free magazine while you're here, plus a free T-shirt.
Hey, buddy boy, there you go. You can't beat that. That way, see, if you have to go to the porta potty here, you got some material. You can be like Al Bundy, just fold it up and put it under your arm and go in there and have some fun.
You betcha.
Are you having fun, sir?
Having a great time, trying to stay warm out here.
And I bet you go to all the Corvette events, right?
We're at all the Corvette shows, yes.
Yeah, well, that's part of it. That's sort of what you're right about, you know. We just had a lady that said that she wanted to name this event Vet Stock, because she was old enough to appreciate Woodstock, and she wanted to name it Vet Stock. So there might be an angle, see?
Yeah.
We told her that she was a real nice lady, and she was real serious. And I said, well, I guess that means you can't naked skateboard through the parking lot, but we have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Guys, can they go online and get subscription to the book? Or?
I don't know if it's set up for online yet or not.
But it will be.
It will be, I'm sure, at some time in the
What about just buying it off the newsstand?
Buy it
Can they
off
do
the
that?
newsstand. It's been around forever. It will. You can find it at Walmart's, grocery stores.
You can find everything at Walmart.
About everything.
Just about everything.
About everything.
Including people that camp out for 2 or 3 days.
Exactly. But the best bet's just to come by here. Get
There
one
you go.
from me.
There you go.
Then you don't have to worry about it because you won't get a free T-shirt at Walmart.
No, they won't. Matter of fact, they don't even want you. They want you wearing a T-shirt in there, but they don't want to give you one.
That's fact.
Listen, my friend, we won't disturb you because you're busy. A lot of people want to check out Vet Magazine, and you can do that right here at the 20th anniversary of the National Corvette Museum. Just come through Vendor Row and stop in, and this gentleman's not only going to educate you, he's going to make you look good at the same time.
There you go.
There you go. Thank you so much for being on Event Radio. Guys, we're going to stab and steer. We will be right back. All right, guys, we are back from the 20th anniversary celebration of the National Corvette Museum, and every once in a while, and out of all the events that I cover, I run up on a car that I have to say I want one, and we run up on what, if there's such a thing that really makes a Corvette, this gentleman that we're going to introduce you to is with the bad guys on the block. There is no doubt about it. If you see one of these and it happens to say Callaway across the back, just fall in behind it because there's no way in this God's green earth you're going to get in front of it. What is your name, sir?
Chris Chesno from Callaway Cars.
No kidding.
Yes.
There are a lot of Corvettes, my friend. There are probably, I think they said somewhere between 8,000 and 10,000 of them here.
Mm-hmm.
What does it feel like to know that you got one that you can spank every one of them?
Well, I tell you, I've been coming to this museum now for for 20 years, and coming here today, there are more Corvettes here this weekend than I've ever seen. So being seen in a sea of Corvettes, thank you for that.
Hey, no, I'm an old guy that's been into the Corvette stuff since he was 16 years old. In 1966, I held the NHRA national drag race record with an A-Sport Big Block 66 car.
Okay.
So I know a little bit about Corvettes. I've had 31 of them of my own. And I have always wanted a Callaway since I saw one of the very first twin turbo cars because I knew I had enough race background to know that it's a hot rod.
Well, it's interesting because we do have cars here, everything from an 87 Callaway twin turbo right to our latest car that we're looking at, the 2014 Callaway Stingray with 627 horsepower.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
That'll get you a glass of sweet tea down here in a hurry.
It will, and give you change.
And what's cool now, and I've got to pat you guys on the back, because you can build the horsepower monsters and still make it docile enough to be able to drive it every day. That's what's so cool.
We pride ourselves on building power, style, and exclusivity. And, building power, frankly, is easy, but is it drivable? Is it reliable? And is it going to be something that you can drive every day? We have, not this car, but our last demo car was a 2010 Callaway Corvette, 606 horsepower. She just turned 196,000 miles in a little over 4 years.
Well, now I'm going to give you a little feather for your hat.
Yeah.
We went to they have an event here called National Corvette Homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
We had two people sitting side by side. One was a Callaway, one was a Lingenfelter.
Uh-huh.
They went out and drag raced.
Oh, boy.
Guess who won?
I'm guessing us.
I would think you'd be right. And the reason they went out and drag, these guys were policemen out of New Orleans, so they were well capable of handling the cars. Mm-hmm. They were trained drivers, but you spanked him like a stepchild, my friend.
Nice.
And yeah, I know you. I figured you might like that. That's why I would throw that in. The Callaways, they are the Rolex watch of a Corvette.
Well, we feel like we've built quite the brand. We were originally hired in 1985 by Chevrolet to solve a marketing problem, how to bring a few Corvettes to a higher level. In that era, the ZR1 was taking what seemed to be forever, and we built these twin-turbo cars, 510 of them over a period from 87 to 91, and just fell in love with the car and have been building ever since.
Well, I tell you what, you're the class of the field, my friend. There is no doubt about it. And we are not radio people. We are old ex-professional racers. I ran an alcohol funny car for years, and so I know a little bit about a hot rod, And if I was going to spend my money on a new Corvette, there's no question I'd be the path to your door.
Well, I appreciate that, and I think that, again, the virtues of what we do, power, style, and exclusivity. We sell our products through authorized dealers, so we handpick the very best dealers around the United States and Canada, train them, and make the whole experience, not just on the car, but the whole experience of ownership, just to the next level.
Well, and you have a product that's good enough to do that. See, a lot of guys try to do that. They try to baffle them, pardon the expression, with BS.
Right.
And you baffle them with just flat results, and that can't be denied by anybody. And one ride in one of those, I've had the pleasure of actually riding in one. Stand back, boys and girls. This thing is a handful.
Well, I appreciate that. Like I said, we do drive our cars, and also trucks. I don't know if you noticed that hot rod on the other end of the Corvette.
I don't want to look at that. I have a Suburban that's down on power, and I don't want to look at that.
Oh, boy, that would solve all the problems.
I don't want to even talk to you. We're doing enough. The bad thing about these cars get some mileage, too. I don't know how in the world you do that.
They do. Between Albuquerque and Oklahoma City, mathematically calculated 28 miles per gallon.
I
the
hate
cruise
you.
control
I
said
hate
it's 75.
Oh, gosh. We have two Suburbans that we use at Event Radio. One of them gets about 17. The other one gets 7. Don't want to trade her. And we're stuck in the one that gets 7.
Right.
And so, boy, I tell you what, it must be nice. Because that, as far as car ownership, that's the only part of this whole deal that you can't control. You can control the rest of it. You can make it fast. You can make it slow. You can make it stop. You can make it go. But you can't control the fuel.
Well, I think we do a very good job of doing that. A lot of that goes back to the factor of drivability.
Right.
Our vehicles are 50 state emissions compliant, so they can be sold anywhere, including the Golden State.
Where is the biggest Callaway dealer?
The biggest Callaway dealer, believe it or not, is in Oil Patch, Canada.
Oil Patch, Canada.
Yeah, fueled by the energy money, fueled by the oil boom of Canada.
Yeah.
And but in the United States, if I told you that the biggest dealer was in Imperial, Nebraska, and I was born in Nebraska.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
We won't hold that against you, buddy. I mean, just because you guys don't have sweet tea, that's all right.
Right. but the funny thing is, being born in Nebraska, I never knew where Imperial was until I met a guy by the name of Sid Harkleroad, who came up to me at an event just like we are here, and he said, I want to be the biggest Callaway dealer, and I will make you proud that you select me. Went and took a look at his dealership. The town said 1976 as you come into town. I thought that's when it was incorporated. That's its population.
I got you. 1,976 people.
1,976 people.
And he sells more than anybody else.
He sells more than anybody else because, again, meeting this fellow, we've come to realize he's an extension of our brand.
Yeah,
he's our kind of people.
You have to, in order to sell something and do an effective job. There are a lot of salesmen out there that can make a penny look pretty good, but you got to really like a penny to sell it.
Yeah.
And your cars, it's very, very easy to like them. It's not a labor that you have to work at. I mean, one ride, one look. There are, like I say, guys, there are 10,000 Corvettes at this event. If you'll come down through Vendors Row and you just look, or at any event that you see a Callaway display, if you will look at their car, you will understand why you walked by all the rest of them to come and look at this. I mean, buddy, it's nice. It's nice everywhere, from the exhaust all the way through, and it's, I guess if you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly, right?
Exactly.
That's the way I look at it. I think it doesn't cost that much more to have fun,
Well, and I think what you're doing is you're buying a quality vehicle that's going to exceed your expectations. That's what it's all about.
That's what you want. And besides that, it'll spin the tires.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'll smoke the tires as far as that goes. How quick? Everybody says my car run 200. We all know that's a bunch of crap. How fast is this car?
It will exceed 200.
I know this one will.
Yeah.
But you get some guys that say, "Oh, my car," and it. I can't help it. I won't even go there because I shouldn't do this.
It's interesting because, for example, our cars run low 11 or high 10 second quarter mile times.
Sure.
But what we find, most of our owners put the pedal to the floor for about
30 seconds. No, not even that.
Maybe 3 seconds.
3 seconds.
Maybe 4, and realize they're going much faster than they ever intended, and quickly reel it back.
You know what's really cool, and honestly, I mean, I've studied a little bit of your cars, and I know the quality that goes in them, suspension wise and motor wise and stuff like that. But to have this sitting here and know that you could take it right across the street to the motorsport park and probably spank Corvette racing to death, and you can. You have the piece of equipment that's better than what they've got, and it's sitting here in the grass looking pretty, and really, I'm not playing. This car probably handling, speed, you can spank any one of the cars they have.
Well, maybe we should take it over to the motorsports park.
Nah, let them do their thing. Leave them out in the sun. They're not real friendly, so leave them out in the sun. Honest to goodness, guys, if you want to be the bad guy on the block and you want to come to a Corvette event like this where there's 8,000 to 10,000 cars and you want to stand out in the crowd, my newest friend here is the way to put you there. You go find you a Callaway Corvette, or you go to Nebraska and you buy one, or wherever he tells you to go buy one.
Yeah.
And you bring it here, and you will be a showstopper. There is no question about it.
Well, I appreciate that.
Well, it's a fact, buddy.
Yeah.
And you're not paying us to say that.
No, sir.
I mean, we're saying that because we believe it. We know it. I've got a buddy that's got a Hennessy Viper, so I know about those too. And you can spank one of those. It's honest to goodness, it's a hot rod. And you don't know this, but I got ridiculed. A fella had a Corvette convertible. I told a guy in an earlier interview, I went and saw his car because we see them all here, being based out of here. I mean, seeing Corvettes is a daily deal for us. And I went up to him, and I was trying to be really nice. And I said, buddy, that is a really nice hot rod. Well, I call them all a hot rod. He said, I'll have you know that is a finely engineered driver's car. And I said, well, buddy, no offense. I've had 31 of them. I believe I can call it a hot rod if I want to. But your car is both. It is a finely engineered car, but it's a hot rod. And that's what a Corvette's designed to be.
Well, if you notice the tagline on our license plate frame, powerfully engineered automobiles.
Yeah, and the license plate frame's got 228, and that's probably how quick this bad boy is. If you want to know the truth. He's not going to tell you that, but that's probably what that means, to rub it in a little bit. Sir, thank you so much for taking a minute to be on Event Radio. We actually, this little radio show goes all over the world. We cover every kind of motorsport there is, internet-wise, and we've had some fairly high horsepower folks sit in your seat. Actually, a week ago today, the guy that does all the motor work for Menard and the Andretti's was sitting right there.
No
so we've had a pretty bunch of high-performance people. We know a little about it.
Great company.
But we're honored to be able to set this close to a Callaway. Maybe one of these days we can find enough Coke bottles to buy one. We got to cash them all in to get one. But if I were going to buy a Corvette, guys, and some of you that know Terry and I, if I was going to invest my money in a Corvette, there is just one that I would buy, and it's sitting right next to us. The Callaway is an absolute killer car, cool to the bone, make you bad to the bone. I'm surprised it doesn't have that George Thorogood playing in the stereo. Oh, when you buy one, bad to the bone, because they are.
That's actually the chime when you forget to take the key fob with you. It plays that, I think.
Well, that's good. That's good. Boy, you're a salesman. Gosh. Guys, we are having a blast at the National Corvette National Corvette 20th Anniversary Museum celebration. We're having just too much fun and getting to see all this cool stuff. Thank you, sir, for joining us on Event Radio. We will be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. All right, guys. What do you think about the 20th anniversary deal of the Corvette Museum? Is it 20 years of having fun, boy? I mean, that's all right, huh?
Can you imagine what the 40's going to be like?
I hope we're here. I hope we're. They may have them like Lance Burton by the time they do the 40th anniversary, where they go up in the air like Back to the Future, and the wheels fold under them, and you fly them all over everything.
The way they're going now, it wouldn't be far from that. There's some beautiful cars. I mean, I can't.
There really are some pretty cars. We talked about going through here and actually picking our favorites, and I actually picked my favorite, I think, here of all of them. We stopped and took a picture of it. It's a white C6 convertible with a black top and black interior with chrome wheels. I know you get off on the colored wheels a little bit. To me, that's just ugly. Ugly. You notice the Callaway, the fastest cars on the planet, didn't have black wheels
They
on
had
them.
chrome wheels.
That's exactly right, and they are the bad boys
What
on the
pretty
block.
cars were they?
Oh, buddy, I tell you what, if I was going to have a Corvette right now at my age, it would be one of the Callaway Corvettes because I think they're absolutely drop dead cool.
Corvette racing could really learn a lot from Galloway.
Corvette racing needs to learn a lot from everybody. Out of all of the people, guys, there are 10,000 cars at Corvette Homecoming, and we actually went to Corvette racing, and we also went to their little school that they teach you how to drive, supposedly. They need to go to their own school, but they need to go to the school of how to have a personality. Out of all the people, they were the least friendly, most rude people at this whole event. And, guys, we're talking bad about you only because you earned it. We really liked you when we came in here, but nobody
Be glad we're not talking about your mama.
Nobody is that cool. Nobody, all these enthusiasts look at you and place you at a higher plane.
You're exactly
that
right.
puts you in a position that you need to earn that, gentlemen. You don't need to act that way. That is not nice, especially to the media, because we get to tell the world about you. But you need to be nice to people. I understand you guys are good at what you do, and they blow your balloon up higher than most people in the world on being Corvette racing. And on the racetrack, you do a good job. There is no question about it. But you don't need to do interviews. And let me back up. I see why you won't give interviews. We were actually told that we refuse to talk to you, and that's fine. Even though Mr. Mike Wilson, the senator from Kentucky, we had a blast with him. He is a Kentucky state senator. He didn't have any trouble talking to us. We talked to the ladies and people from Corvette clubs from as far away as Canada. They didn't have any trouble talking to us. But evidently we're not quite up to your level yet. I guess because last weekend we interviewed the guys that do all the work for the Menards and Andretti's. You may be a little bit better road racer than they are, but I sort of doubt it. They had trouble or had time to talk to us. Other than that, T, we have had a big time at
I tell you what, it's fun. It's fun just to get you fired up. And
well,
watch you go.
know, I mean, we're different, buddy. We are old racers. We have sat in their seat. We have held their steering wheels, and we have raced in front of the public. And when you get the name racer tagged to your name, there is a level of responsibility that goes with that. And, boys, you ain't figured it out yet, but you need to, because you are representing the whole Corvette deal, and you have that much responsibility. And I'm sorry, we don't mean to talk ugly about you, and please don't sue us. But, and it's not over your performance. It's not over your ability with Corvettes. You are aces. There is no doubt. You are as good as it gets, or you wouldn't be Corvette racing. But let me tell you something, friends. Without the fans, you got nobody to race in front of. And until you learn how to become a little bit more fan-friendly, you're lacking in your whole program.
Sure are.
Other than that, we'll get off our soapbox. We'll go home. We'll get a hamburger. We'll have fun. And thank you for all the people that have been so nice to us at our
They
little
made up
visit.
for the condom heads.
Well, they've been so nice to us that they made up for all the bad, and we appreciate each and every one of them. As always, guys, we never end our show without thanking our sponsors, the wonderful people at Beach Bend Raceway, Beach Bend Park, and Splash Lagoon.
Quick Fuel and Final Finish.
And the Gearhead Gazette magazine, guys, the #1 car guy magazine on the internet, gearheadgazette.com. You can go on there and find out everything that's cool that's going on in the world of car hobby, and find all the cool events to go see. Last but not least, the sponsors and the future builders of the new tower at the Corvette Motorsports Park,
How neat is that?
the nice guys at Holly. If you cannot find a part for your hot rod or your project with the vast array of things that Holly sells, you must be reading in a book somewhere, because you don't need any parts, because these guys make something, and all the stuff that they do, they make something that you're going to need. So give them a shot. T, I think we should get in the Griswold wagon and head out for a burger or something. Do you think?
Sounds like a winner to me.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us on Event Radio. As we always say, if you enjoy what we do, please tell a friend. If you don't, forget you ever heard from us and keep it to yourself. Thanks so much, guys, for listening to Event Radio. We are on the road. We'll talk to you again.
You've been listening to Event Radio, covering local drag racing, stock car racing, motorcycles, go-karts. If it's got wheels and you can race it, you heard about it here. Event Radio is motorsports radio on steroids. Join us next time with your hosts, Spivey Williams and Terrible T Guy.